She cried at her own wedding, and it wasn't from happiness. Every year, millions of women walk down the aisle toward a man they don't truly love. They smile, they say the vows, they kiss, and deep inside, something is missing. You might think this is rare, you might think this is selfish, but what if I told you this is one of the most predictable patterns in all of human psychology? And here's what's even more disturbing. These women are not lying to their husbands. They are following a deeply wired instinct that most men never understand. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why this happens and what it reveals about female psychology that nobody talks about. Welcome to Mind Tactics Lab, where we decode the hidden psychology behind human behavior, attraction, and decision-making. Today's topic is one that most channels are too afraid to touch. We're going to break down the real reasons why millions of women choose to marry men they are not in love with, using evolutionary psychology, behavioral science, and real documented case studies. This is not about blaming women. This is about understanding how the human mind truly works, so you can make better decisions in your own life. Let's get into it. Here's something evolutionary biologists have known for decades. Women are wired to evaluate men on two completely different scales. One scale measures passion and attraction. The other measures stability and resources. And here's the brutal truth. These two scales almost never point to the same man. Research published in the journal Evolutionary Psychology found that women in long-term partner selection consistently prioritize stability, reliability, and provider instincts, even when they feel stronger physical attraction to other men. This is not a modern phenomenon. For thousands of years, survival depended on choosing a stable partner over an exciting one. A woman who chose passion over protection often didn't survive. Her children didn't survive. So her brain learned to override emotion with strategy. And that wiring is still very much alive today. Even in a world where women earn their own income and don't need a man to survive. The brain hasn't caught up with the calendar. There is a phenomenon psychologists call settling behavior. And it is triggered by what researchers call the social deadline. When a woman reaches a certain age, whether it's 27, 30, or 35, a psychological timer begins ticking loudly. Family asks questions. Friends get engaged. Social media fills with wedding photos. And suddenly the question shifts from, "Do I love him?" to, "Is he good enough?" Dr. Neil Clark Warren, founder of eHarmony and a renowned relationship psychologist, stated that a significant portion of marriages happen not because two people are deeply in love, but because both people decided it was time. She doesn't marry him because he's her soulmate. She marries him because he arrived at the right moment and left no obvious reason to say no. This is called convenience commitment. And it is far more common than anyone admits. Here's something that will change how you see every relationship around you. Many women don't fall in love with a man. They fall in love with a projection, an imagined version of who he could be, who he might become, the potential she sees in him. Carl Jung called this animus projection. A woman projects her ideal masculine archetype onto a real man and falls in love with that projection, not the actual person. She marries the dream, and then, slowly, reality begins to reveal itself. The man she married is not the man she imagined. He never was. But by then, vows have been exchanged, families have merged, and leaving feels impossible. This is not deception. This is the human brain filling in gaps with fantasy, and both men and women do it. But the research shows women are significantly more likely to commit long-term based on projected potential rather than present reality. Psychologists have a term for the fear of being alone, autophobia. And it is one of the most powerful invisible forces driving human relationship decisions. Studies show that the fear of loneliness activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. Loneliness, to the brain, feels like a survival threat. So when a woman is with a man she doesn't love but he is kind, stable, and present, her brain runs a cold calculation. The pain of leaving is greater than the emptiness of staying. And so she stays. She builds a life. She has children. She decorates a home. And she tells herself that love will grow. Because that's what everyone told her would happen. Sometimes it does. Sometimes love grows from comfort and familiarity, what psychologists call companionate love. It is quieter than passion, but it is real. But many times, it doesn't grow, and she finds herself 10 years into a life that fits perfectly on the outside and feels hollow on the inside. Now, here is where this becomes directly relevant to you. If a woman can marry a man she doesn't love, what does that tell you about what women actually respond to? It tells you that women are not just looking for men who make their hearts race. They are also deeply influenced by security, consistency, and a man who knows himself. The men who get chosen, even without explosive passion, are men who project stability, men who don't chase, men who have direction, men who make her feel safe in a way that no exciting, unpredictable man ever could. But here's the trap many men fall into. They try to become that safe man by becoming boring, by becoming agreeable, by erasing themselves. That is the wrong move. The most attractive version of a man is one who is both grounded and compelling, stable, but not predictable, present, but not desperate. That is the man she chooses, and the man she actually falls in love with. Understanding female psychology doesn't mean manipulating women. It means understanding the real game, so you can show up as the right man for the right reasons. So to summarize what we covered today, women marry men they don't love because of evolutionary security wiring, social deadline pressure, the projection illusion, and the silent terror of being alone. None of this makes women villains. It makes them human. And understanding this, truly understanding it, separates the men who navigate relationships wisely from those who spend their lives confused and hurt. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe to Mind Tactics Lab. Every week, we go deeper into the psychology that shapes your life, your relationships, and your reality. And tell me in the comments, do you know someone who married for the wrong reasons? What happened? I'll see you in the next one.